Welcome to the Conversations for Change podcast hosted by Asia Inc. Forum, where ideas spark action. Join us in the conversation that's shaping the future of Brunei and Asia, one conversation at a time. We've been making a lot of progress. So we've been talking about leadership, we've been talking about AI, food and culture, and so much more. Do give us a follow and subscribe and follow us on our YouTube channel, Asia Inc. Forum BN, and also Instagram, LinkedIn, and also Facebook at Asia Inc. Forum. In a rapidly shifting world, the ability to speak the truth to power and challenge the status quo is both a privilege and a necessity. Yet, in societies bound in tradition and politeness, the push for real change often collides with a culture of caution. Can one voice really spark a national conversation in a society that values harmony over confrontation? Are we ready for more courageous critics, or do we ourselves hold us back from the progress we desperately so need? In Brunei, one voice has consistently braved the tension between courage and criticism. We have Mr. Malai Hassan Othman, once upon a time journalist for Borneo Bulletin, LinkedIn columnist, and chairman of the National Development Party Advisory Board. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Malai. I'm a huge fan of your LinkedIn articles, and so is my team at Asia Inc. Forum. Let's take our listeners right to the very start. How did a young reporter in 1980s Brunei end up as a national voice for change?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to Pangeran Hana and Asia Inc. Forum and your team for this kind invitation. I'm honored to be part of this vital conversation. In today's world, the courage to speak, to write, and to act responsibly is a form of service. So I'm greatly honored to be part of this platform now for Asia Inc. And if my writing has stirred people to reflect, then that alone makes the journey worthwhile. So, what was your question just now? How did a
young gentleman, as a young reporter in 1980s, end up now as like a national voice for change? The journey started from 1980s. How was it like for you?
I was never seeking to be a voice of change. That's honestly speaking, because I found journalism by accident actually. So it's never been my intention to be a voice of change. I was simply drawn to stories and that mattered. From my early days in Borneo Bulletin, I witnessed firsthand. I was very lucky, because as a journalist, I have the privilege to be in the front row seat to see the transformation of Brunei. So I witnessed firsthand how power, poverty, and privilege and policy played out in daily life. The spark wasn't one big event. It's a small series of moments where I saw the gap between what was said and what was felt by the people.
It's true.
Journalism gave me the tools, and integrity gave me the reason to write.
Oh, that's such a lovely way of putting it. You've seen Brunei grow from its very Independence Day. You've seen Brunei's media world as well transform and change. From your early days to your latest columns, how has journalism changed in Brunei?
What I can say, from typewriter to Twitter.
That's true. It's very different. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
And TikTok.
Yeah. So we have gone from print to pass up both using plate before, You go to our printing shop in Brunei Drive, you can see the old machine there. That was in the 80s, Now we are going digital platform and then also algorithms. But while tools evolve, freedom doesn't necessarily follow.
That's true.
Yeah. We still face a cautious media culture. What has changed is that people now seek independent voice online, right? And journalism is no longer just about facts.
Just covering the event and
Yeah,
that's
it's
it.
not
Right?
just about facts. It's not just reporting events, all these things, But it's about now contextualizing the truth, right, in the society. How we translate policies or events itself, speeches, that mean what it means to the people, to the readers, to our public, you know. And, sometimes we have to write the truth that many people not ready to hear.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. We would definitely get to the truth part after this. I think you're very ready to speak about the truth. I myself am a very curious person, and I think for your readers as well, I think they're very curious. I was wondering, where do you gather your sources from? Like, where do you get your information before you write your articles?
From you,
From myself, from me,
people.
from people, from Reddit.
from people, people are my biggest source.
There you go.
I remember before,
Yeah.
I have this KopiTalk column.
Yeah.
It started when I was in the bulletin.
Mm.
Okay, so there are stories or information that we will not be able to publish as a news item, due to some sensitivity, or maybe information is not validated. But then it's the talk in the town. So I used to spend my time in coffee shop. Our office was at the old Hong Kong Bank building in town. During that time, Ginchu is not yet in Gadong.
It's
It
right
was
in Bandar.
right
Yes, yes.
next to the Hong Kong Bank building.
Yeah, Asia Ing was close by as well. So
Yes.
back in the day, okay.
So I used to have my coffee there and listening to the conversation, So that's how I get my sources. Now, with WhatsApp, threads, community frustration, even Reddit. Of course, I do my homework with government report, this budget report statistic. I listen to, to the Lexco session, to the Hansard, read all those
You
documents.
read, yeah.
So that's my sources.
You're a well-researched
So
journalist.
my experience give my writing the life.
Of course. Of course.
From my experience. So that's how it is.
Right now, in terms of the conversations that are happening in Brunei, do you see people being more courageous, or are people being more careful when they are having their conversations? I'm getting a bit more quiet now as well, so.
Caution is still dominant lah.
Of
People
course.
very cautious, very careful.
Yeah.
People, what from my observation, are afraid of consequences. You talk too much, you might get into trouble, right? So, or being misunderstood,
That is
or
true.
worse than that, maybe you will be labeled like disloyal. I was always having that problem.
Can you
Most
tell us?
recent also, I was labeled like Dorhaka, all
Oh.
these kind of thing, But then I just ignore. I mean,
But you have never been into trouble before, have you? Question mark.
in Sabah, not very serious.
Okay.
But I've been put in the firing squad.
Oh,
I
okay.
was called. I was summoned to ministry
Oh, wow.
with all the directors, SUT, questioning my stories, my articles. I've gone through that before.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Yeah.
So
And what has come out of those kind of meetings?
well, I have to clarify it.
Yeah, you answer. Yes,
Yeah, I
of
have to
course.
clarify it.
Yeah.
Where I write, I mean, well, of course, there's nothing much they can say.
It's already out there.
Only, if you can just tone down a bit.
Oh, that's what they say. I feel like in terms of Brunei, we have such a tightly managed media system. It's we don't get to talk about things as openly as we should. How do you then navigate? How do you yourself put yourself in that line between being honest as a critique, but at the same time you want to respect the culture, the political sensitiveness. You don't name drop, you don't say somebody, but you sort of direct everybody to somewhere. How do you balance that?
Very, very carefully, lah. Okay, cautiously, carefully, and I don't criticize individuals. I criticize the system, probably questioning the policy.
Of course.
So, but not individuals. So I stay within the cultural and religious frameworks because we have MIB.
Yes.
So just work around that frameworks, then we'll be okay.
I think my question to you, I mean, I've had coffee with you before as well. This question is, what is it are we able to talk about then? Or what is it that we are not able to touch on in terms of topics of conversation? Or writing even.
As I said, I stick on examining the system,
Yeah.
studying the policy,
Yeah.
its impact on us.
Of course.
Always in my mind is that what benefit to the people, what benefit to the people,
Yeah.
or the impact, either positive or negative. So we have to look into that area. So as I said, my goal is not to attack, but to point out inconsistencies, right? And also to provoke or stir reflection, so people will reflect on it,
Yeah.
too. So we will think,
Yeah.
not only swallow
What?
but also look at it and study it and appreciate it. If it's good for you, alhamdulillah.
There's this point that you mentioned to me in a cafe before when we had coffee. In a country, journalism should never be dead, because if not, who is there to question what's going on? Any more thoughts in regards to this?
Can you repeat your?
So we had coffee before
Yes,
at
yes.
KopiTalk and all this, right? You mentioned to me before that if journalism dies in a country, then there's no one there to do the check and balance in terms of whatever is being shared, whatever is being implemented. It should never be a one-way system for the people. There should be accountability, check and balance. What are
Yes.
your thoughts?
Yes. Journalism is very important. I mean, we have in a nation, in governance, we have the executive, the judiciary, judicial,
Yeah.
and the third pillar should be press. You see, so we must have these three pillars. Then we'll have good governance, right? Which means this one, then I think it will be quite a challenge. I mean, from my experience, when I was before, during my early days in the bulletin, I realized that we are not expected to write speeches
Yeah, that's true.
because that will be done by the Pelita Brunei
Yeah.
or the mouthpiece of the government, RTB, Pelita Brunei. But bulletin is a community paper.
It's for everybody.
Yeah,
It's
for
for
everybody. It's your paper. It's your voice.
Yeah.
So our approach to news is always from our perspective, from the perspective of the people. What people want to hear, what people want to know. So if that's missing, then the system is not healthy, in giving feedback to the government. I mean, we progress not through assumption. We make policy not through assumption, but from feedback,
Yeah.
right? If we don't have that feedback, then
It's just a top-down approach, and you just expect everybody.
yeah, I mean, you assume that it's good for the people,
Yeah.
but
Without
the day you have this, policy that doesn't work, and you have to
rework it and
rework
everything
it,
changed, and
you have to
few
rework,
years.
and it will be a waste of time, waste of opportunity, and also causing a lot of distress
Yeah,
to the people,
that is true.
anxiety.
Yes, I think that's the general. What are your, so like making this very personable and conversational, right? You take your I would say writings and listenings, I think, from Reddit and all this. What do you think is the general mood for Bruneians right now? We're 10 more years into 2035. What are your collections from people's expressions and writings online?
We are impatient, we are anxious,
Yeah,
we expect more,
yeah,
we hope
for more.
for better.
That's true.
Well, we cannot blame people,
Yeah, that's true.
because that was the promise 20 years ago. Where you want to take the nation, been articulated, right? That we want to have, by 2035, well-educated, highly skilled people. We want to have dynamic economy, and then we want to ensure that our people enjoy high standards of living,
That's true.
high income,
Yeah, of course.
on par with 10 developed nations.
That's true. Yeah.
Now 10 years more to go. Where are we? Alhamdulillah, recently His Majesty announced the, what do you call it, for the salary, the
Standardizing.
gaji minimum.
Yep,
minimum
there's a
wage
minimum wage now, yes.
to 7 other sectors,
Yeah.
So that's quite good news, right? On our human resource, right? But still, we can see that we are quite successful in producing well-educated and highly skilled people of Brunei. But then you can see also unemployment rate is not going down.
Yeah.
Underemployment is an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
If before you have a master degree, you will be holding a good post in whatever field you try to study, But today, you can be having master degree in physics,
Yeah.
but you might end up just as a barrister,
Yeah.
or maybe you can open your small stall,
Yeah.
So
I think in terms of like aspirations and dreams and all this, right? Wherever you are outside of Brunei, if you study fashion, you want to be a fashion designer, you can be it. There's opportunity for you. You study journalism, you can be a journalist, whatever industry, which is like non-oil and gas, non-government, you can try to pursue those dreams of yours. But there's a misalignment that's going on here in Brunei. If you can pinpoint, I don't like pinpointing, maybe this is a tough one, but if there's a point where we went wrong, like where have we gone wrong? I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but
the situation today
Yeah.
is that there's not enough good job opportunities for our graduates.
Yeah.
We have more graduates, but it's supply and demand.
Yeah.
We supply more educated, skilled workers, but there's no demand for them, right?
Yeah.
So
So what should people?
he recently, His Majesty announced on this new program, they call it Skill Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good move
It's a good
to
program.
upskill
Yeah.
and to ensure that this graduate, because there's a gap, in education and the market. There's a gap. So we try to close the gap by maybe upskilling those people to make sure that our industry can take them in. So this will be done through Skill Plus, probably, So there'll be courses provided to them. So I mean, this was not done before,
Yeah, of course.
until we have this problem,
Yeah.
right? So if you say where we fail, maybe that's it, because we did not anticipate that our education institution can be very efficient in producing graduates.
There's a lot more graduates now.
Yeah.
But once upon a time, again, going back to the coffee shop conversation we had before, back in the 80s, this was not the case. Like people were much more, I can speak Malay on this, berani, courageous, wanting to do whatever they want. They want to build bridges, ships, boats. That was the direction of where Brunei was. We wanted to build our own starting in the 80s, but where are we now? Are we making our own things? Are we, do you understand where I'm going?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it that was in the 80s then that's not happening now?
As I mentioned earlier, being a journalist, I have the privilege of sitting in the front row
Yeah.
to see Brunei transformation. That was back in 1986, right? About 2 years after independence. Before independence, we we already have our 5-year plan,
Yeah.
national development plan, 5-year plan.
Yeah.
During that time, I remember one of the big agenda was to make Malay, specifically
Malay.
Putra,
Yeah.
as the captain of industries. That was the big agenda at the time.
Yeah.
So you just imagine, we focus on developing our Malay entrepreneurs so they can be successful.
Yeah.
So we don't have ministry at that time. We have only department maybe. Then we have the economic development department, I think.
Yeah. Just
At that time,
yeah.
the government fund for the development of Malay entrepreneurs.
Well, there was a lot of support.
Yes. So it's not through bank, no interest loan, So I can say that few was the product of that scheme before, I'm wrong maybe, but I know there are few still until now. The product of that, before. Then when we get independent, we have ministries
Yeah.
being introduced. So we have the Ministry of Industry and Primary Resources,
Yeah, PRT, yeah.
led by Yang Berhormat, our PN Rahman, now the Speaker of our Legislative Council. He was the Minister of Industry. I was, being a reporter, I am, getting all the first-hand information on where they are heading. We have before this program of Peladang Muda, they call it Peladang Muda. So they were allocated a big land in Jerudong. So we develop our local farmers from youths. And then the development after that is that we have our own abattoir and everything. What I'm trying to say here is that before we are not self-sufficient in chicken production. Now we don't need to import chicken.
Yeah.
Also eggs. We also already self-sufficient in egg. We are not exporting eggs. But then of course, there are other things that we fail to develop. As you mentioned, that before we are very well known in. Do you know where the name of Kampung Pandai Besi come from?
No, I don't know. Kampung
Yeah.
Pandai Besi. Then you should know how to use metal. Should know how to wield. Yeah.
So we are good in iron skill making.
Bertukang, yes.
And then they are still. So we are well known. We can make boat and everything before. But then we don't.
Yeah. We don't share it to our generation.
Develop that one. We don't develop that one, but we. So
There's a loss of, I would say, like that culture as well.
yeah.
In there, there's a lot for us to talk about. I also read somewhere as well on Reddit, I'm a huge Reddit reader as well. They were wondering and hoping, is Mr. Malai safe? And, is he okay for being so candid? I think you shared with us your own, I would say, being called upon and then I think being questioned. People are generally afraid of speaking out or sharing their honest thoughts about things like the economy. You've shared with us already what we can say, what we cannot say.
Yeah.
Yeah. In regards to you yourself, Tuan Malai, you're not just a writer. So you are also the chairman of the NDP Advisory Board. Can you share with us what is NDP? What is it that you guys do?
First, I appreciate the concern of the people about me. I'm mindful. I'm not reckless. Okay, and before I write, I look at the words. I weigh on the words I want to write, and I believe that silence can be more dangerous.
True.
Fear can keep our system stagnant, as we discussed earlier. And why I write, because I believe that I speak so others can feel that they are not alone.
Wow.
All right? And yes, I am the National Development Party is the only registered political party in Brunei. As chairman of the advisory board of the National Development Party, I was the president before, for 2 terms.
Okay.
Then now I'm the chairman of the advisory board. So I don't see myself as an agitator, right? My role is to advise, to promote responsible national dialogue, and I am a bridge builder between people, the policy, between the government and the people, and then between the past and the future. So that's what I see my role now. So NDP roles is though very limited in context, but I can still see it's relevant as long as we can remain sincere, people-based, issue-based, and people-oriented. So NDP will remain relevant, right?
Yeah, that is true. I understand what you're doing is of service, but at the end of the day, in terms of your writings, what is the core message you hope your readers take from your commentaries, especially the tough ones?
The message is that silence is no longer an option. Okay? We must think critically. We and constructively, and we need to participate actively in the nation building. That is my message lah. That is my ano. So my message is engage,
Yeah.
And don't disengage.
And I've also noticed that I think from your recent articles, you've been invited to things as well. You've been invited to cover some events, and also you are also going out to have engagement dialogue sessions.
Yes.
Yeah. How can you share with us more? What have you been
Yes.
doing?
I appreciate that very much. I mean, recently I was invited to to attend the roundtable dialogue.
Yeah.
Hosted by Dato Amin Liu, our Minister of Finance, second Minister of Finance. The topic of discussion is revitalizing blight.
Yeah.
So I was really honored and very grateful for being invited. So I see it as as a recognition to my profession as a writer.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad. I'm very happy. So we have a very good discussion, and I'm very what do you call that, motivated, and also motivated because I mean this is what we need.
Yeah.
The engagement with the public.
Allowing us in. Yeah.
This is what we need. We need more of this, engagement. We need more of this dialogue. So we have another 10 years to go, and this effort, this initiative should be increased more. And a follow up of that, we have another workshop also on the same topic. So I was also invited, and I'm very grateful and really appreciate that. So
Maybe you should do a workshop after this on journalistic writing. Maybe a lot more of our younger audience and listeners would love to write as eloquent as you are, and as factual and as careful as you are as well. You never know, right, after this. I want to hit home for this one and just touch a bit of Brunei. We've talked about, and we've touched on this, like unemployment, burnout, all this. What's the single biggest barrier to our economic progress?
ano yan?
What is the one biggest barrier to our economic progress in Brunei?
Complacency.
I love. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We're just
So
comfortable.
we have been comfortable for too long
Yes.
because of because we are rich country with oil and gas, and we've been very complacent because of that.
That's
You
true.
know, they call it Dutch disease.
Oh, Dutch disease. Okay.
Yeah, I think
We've been too spoiled.
that's it.
Yeah.
Because you Google.
Yeah, I would quickly
Dutch
Google after death.
Yeah, this is the problem we have. Complacency, and we rely on oil too much, too dependent on oil. While the world is moving,
That is true.
we are now moving to renewable energy, green energy. So, but we do not translate that into sustainable productivity, and that's the gap. So. Yeah, I remember because we have been talking about diversifying the economy 30 years ago.
Yeah, long time. And now, what do you think? You've been covering it, of course. Diversified economy throughout these years. Are we a
Recent report
diversified?
shows that
Yeah.
we are now moving, we are already on that because
Yeah.
before our economy, our revenue is 90% from oil and gas.
Oh, that's
Now, we are only getting 50% of our revenue from oil and gas. The other half is now from our downstream economy. So now, the good thing is that that's indicate a progress in the effort to diversify the economy.
That is true. That is true. There's so many questions that I can ask you. So in terms of, all the problems that we have, like, but let's not always harp on the problems. And I understand you as a writer as well. You've always been the listening ear to a lot of messages, whining complaints and all this, right? But at the end of the day, what should we focus on? Let's be solution oriented. What should we do as Bruneians to, as everyday Bruneians, ordinary Bruneians who are reading your LinkedIn articles? How do we push for change without feeling fearful, without feeling tired, and actually get somewhere?
The focus should be, I recall the Tita of His Majesty Sultan,
Yeah.
recent Tita of His Majesty Sultan. Three things, human capital, social, economic. So the focus should be empowering our youth, right? And then not just through education,
Yeah.
but also with jobs, mental health, support for mental health. You know how big is our mental health issues in Brunei?
Can you share with us a story?
Yeah. The last report I remember is that over 10,000 suffering from mental health issues. That is already registered. Over 10,000. So.
And with recent things like job loss and job cuts and everything, you can expect a lot more.
Family problem, challenges.
That's true. Challenging times.
The sandwich
Generation, of course. I'm the
sandwich
sandwich in between.
generation,
I understand.
all these things, and then also, so we need support.
Yeah.
Better support on that one.
Yeah.
And then also on the creative space.
Yeah. More support, of course.
And then the decision-making roles.
Yeah.
So what we need is mindset shift from dependency to resilience. So from complacency to more progressive and
Dynamic future for all.
society. Yeah.
I've just got the last quick fire questions for you,
Okay.
which is one lesson you would pass on to my generation and to the many more young Bruneians listening. What's that one lesson?
One lesson for Bruneian.
Yeah.
Speak the truth with humility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Don't inherit the silence.
That's
Speak
true.
up.
Speak up, yes. That's true.
Okay?
What is your biggest hope for Brunei by 2035? Next 10 years.
My biggest hope is that a nation where informed citizens shape bold policies.
World policies. Wow.
Bold policies. And where dignity and merit drive our future.
Last question for you, Tuan Malai. With all honesty, where do you think we are realistically heading?
We are now at a crossroad.
Okay.
Okay? Either we reform gracefully
Yeah.
or risk being left behind. The choice is ours, but time is not.
Time is not on our side. You've made me contemplate my own future. Thank you so much, Mr. Tuan Malai. Your honesty, your fire, your reflections on courage, criticism, and the vital call to action provide such a clear understanding of what we have here in Brunei. To our listeners, we hope this conversation inspires you to move beyond hesitation, to embrace criticism, and become active contributors to the positive change in your communities. Change begins with courage, and with every voice matters. You can find Mr. Malai's thought-provoking articles on LinkedIn under KopiTalk with MHO. Be sure to follow his latest writings and insights. If you like what you've been watching and what you've been listening to, please follow us, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Asia Inc Forum BN. Follow us as well on our socials. LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at Asia Ing Forum. I'll shake your hand on this one, Tuan Malai. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Together, let's not talk about change. Let's make it happen one conversation at a time.